National Identification Authority across Ghana have begun an indefinite strike effective Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, over government's failure to resume payment of their operational support allowances. The operational support allowance was the outcome of a negotiated agreement reached in July of last year between the union and the government of Ghana at the time, represented by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and the Ministry of Finance. Now, payments began in August 2024, but abruptly stopped in January of 2025 without explanation. Well, let's bring you more on the story. Armstrong Goldalogbe is a reporter on this beat. He's been sniffing around. Armstrong, good afternoon to you. What can you report from where you are?
Here at the head office of the NIA, where we are told currently the leadership of NIA and that of Wages Commission are in a meeting, and we are keeping the media men outside until the meeting is over. But what I can report is that we have the union members currently taking part in the nationwide strike, where we have the non-union members working. So if you are a client and you visit the NIA head office, you'll be attended to. Currently, also told that other activities or issuing of cards for the general public have been moved to the regional office, where currently we are told the strike is biting harder. So right from here, we are going to go to the regional office and see what exactly the situation is over there. But here at the head office, there's a meeting going on between the Fair Wages Commission and that of the head office, the leadership of the NIA here coming.
And I'd like to believe this meeting is to forge a way forward.
Sorry?
I'm asking, sniffing around, I'd like to believe this meeting is to forge a way forward.
Yes, very well. So the head of PRO told us that this is to see how they can resolve amicably these issues, so they can immediately call off the strike. So we are told in the next 2 hours or so, the meeting will come to an end, and they will know whether the strike is going to continue beyond today or they are going to call it off.
But let's talk about the impact it's having so far. What can you report on that?
So the impact here at the head office is not being felt because they've transferred every single activities here to the original office. So you will not see much of clients here, unless clients who have no idea that the head office is no longer issuing cards to the general public. So over here, you will not see any impact taking place unless we move all the way to the regional office, which is, we are told, is around the Accra City Campus area. So immediately we move from here, we'll visit the City Campus area where the regional office is located to find out how exactly this is impacting on the general public community.
I see. How long has this meeting been going on? The meeting between at the head office between the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and the NIA authorities?
So we saw the leadership from the Fair Wages Commission coming in about some 30 minutes ago, and they moved into the meeting not quite long ago, less than 20 minutes. So we were given opportunity to first move in and see what was going to transpire in there. But then immediately they were asked to move out for the meeting to continue. So as it stands right now, I can report that the meeting started some few minutes ago, less than 20 minutes. Hopefully, we are told in the next 2 hours or so, the meeting will come to an end, and then they can now give us an update whether or not they've concluded on the way forward, Kemeni.
I see. Now, talk to us again. What are the grievances of the staff of the NIA? Hello, Armstrong. I would appear Armstrong kind of here. So let's get onto the phone lines again and speak to William Ampoma Emmanuel Dallas, who's head of corporate affairs at the NIA. Good afternoon to you, Williams. These concerns that you raise, again, let's go over it again. You say that you had negotiated something in 2024, your allowance in 2024, and then payment stopped in 2025. Is that the case?
Right, good afternoon. First of all, let me say I empathize with the union, and from the journey so far, they have every right to take the decision they have taken, except to plead with them to refine that decision and then come to the table. As we speak, I was in a meeting with the CEO for Pay Wages and Salaries Commission to deliberate on the way forward. I listened halfway to your interview with the union reps, and looking at the journey he chronicled, yes, there was an agreement somewhere last year. I have in my hand a letter that was written from the Finance Ministry to the Controller and Accountant General, and the receipt date on it is on 10th October 2024. And they had two agreements. The first agreement was that the authority, that is the National Identification Authority, should use its IGF to pay for these compensations or the allowances between 1st August 2024 to 31st December 2024. And per my checks, that was done. Now, the second agreement was that the National Identification Authority should take steps to incorporate that in our 2025 budgets so that we will move it from our IGF, and then government will make provisions for it in the 2025 budget. That was done. And you see, with your permission, let me run you through how these budgets are done. When the authority sits with its management and then the finance team, we prepare our activities for the year. After that is done, there's a system you upload your activities into called the Hyperion. Once we upload that into the systems, if the Finance Ministry has issue with regards to any of the figures in there, they will revert and then we reconcile before they pull it out to appropriation. To the best of the knowledge of the authority, all these things were done. The ministry did not revert to us that they had issues with the amount we put in there. And so we have started the processes. As of last week, we had gotten a letter from the Pay Wages and Salaries Commission to the Finance Ministry asking them to give Controller and Accountant General the go-ahead to pay the 20% to our staff. Unfortunately, there was a meeting yesterday, and the Finance Ministry tells us when they were migrating the authority from the budget of the Office of Government Machinery to the Interior Ministry, they did not move that 16 million allocation they made.
I see.
And so, yes, so that is why they've not been able to pay. But then they've given us the assurance that
this,
in the media budget...
Williams, we'll talk about that assurance, but if the money was not moved, since when? Because the staff say that they haven't received it since January. So when was it identified that the money had not been moved?
Okay, so after budgeting, I think the ministry is supposed to release the money to the various institutions and agencies. Now, as I said earlier, with all the documentations available, we were of the belief that once those allocations were not questioned and was uploaded into the Hyperion, the appropriation has been done. And so the money is sitting in our budgets, waiting for it to be disbursed so we can, the Controller and Accountant General can pay our staff. So we got hint of this message yesterday from the ministry that as they were migrating the authority from the Office of Government Machinery budget, they did not move that allocation. So the money is still sitting in the Government of Office Machinery budget.
I see.
So they can only move it in the mid-year budget. So now we are looking at ways we can at least commit to paying a month or two from whatever sources we are able to get the money from, so that we wait till the ministry is able to move the money in the mid-year budget so they can subsequently pay our staff.
I see. And do you think that the staff will want to wait some 2 months more to receive this allowance?
As I speak with you, they know the journey we've all embarked together. And so they know management sides with them. It's unfortunate this had to happen. That is why we're calling them back to the table, because we have shown good faith throughout the journey.
I see.
And we believe that once we sit and put our proposal before them, they will accept, refine their decision, and go back to their various offices.
Williams, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us. Williams Ampoma Dallas is PRO for the National Identification Authority. Now, while the staff remain on strike, we'll take you across the Ashanti Regional Capital now because the National Identification Authority office there, which is usually bustling with long queues, has come to a standstill for obvious reasons. Ibrahim Abubakar is our correspondent there. He's joining us with more from the Ashanti Regional Office of the NIA. Ibrahim, again, good afternoon to you. What else can you report?
Well, Kemini, like you rightly mentioned, these are offices that are quite busy on a daily basis, but today the situation is quite different. In the morning, a lot of people, hundreds of people were there to be able to see whether they will be able to access their Ghana card, only to be told that the staff are on strike. In fact, most of them were disappointed because they told me that yesterday they were there, they were scheduled to come today for their cards, only to be given this unfortunate news. And you know how critical Ghana card has become in our day-to-day activity. This is a card that people need it. They have appointment for passport interview for today. They needed it. Others are racing against time to register for their national service. Others also even for their registration in schools. And they thought that today or tomorrow they will be able to get their Ghana card to complete this registration. But then they came there and they were told that the officers are on strike. Now the challenge is they do not even know when these workers will resume their services for them to also be able to plan ahead. So it's a lot of frustration. You go there, the aged are there, others waiting for this card to be able to even change details so that they will be able to get their pension funds, and they are all left there frustrated. For the manager today, he is there, but the workers keep leaving because they have to comply with the strike directive. Earlier, I engaged with some of the applicants, and let's listen to what they have been sharing with us.
Have spelling mistake on my Ghana card, and I was directed to come here. I came here, that was 2 days ago. So, and I was asked to come back with my school certificates. That's WASI certificates. So this morning, I didn't hear anything about any strike going on. So that's why I'm here this morning, but only to be told that they are on strike. We're just about to start our national service, and they are requiring this Ghana cards as part of our documentation. So if I don't get it on time, it's going to affect me.
I'm here to get a replacement for my Ghana card because I was robbed last week, Saturday. Came here yesterday for it, but due to the network system, they couldn't do it, so they told me to come this morning. And this morning when I came to, they said that they are on strike. Which yesterday they did not tell me anything, so right now I'm confused on why yesterday they did not tell us that they were going on strike.
Well, some applicants who needed the services of the NIA in the Ashanti Regional Office. Earlier was Ibrahim Abubakar, Ashanti Region correspondent. We'll continue to keep an eye on this story.